Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems for GMAT out of this book here, the GMAT Review, the official guide. If you do not have it, buy one immediately at mba.com. The problem that I'm going to solve right now is the one that you will find on page number 168, problem solving number 120. Let's take a look at it. It is an algebra problem, but I'm not going to do it with the algebra. I like to plug in numbers when I see algebra problem in the exam. So it says David has D books. David has D books, which are 3 times as many as Jeff's book, which is 3 times Jeff's. So I'm going to put in a number for Jeff. I'm going to pretend that Jeff is 100. Why 100? I don't know, I just feel like it, 100. Therefore David will be 300. Let's keep on going. So let me read the sentence again. David has D books which are 3 times as many as Jeff. So what it reads now, the sentence that it reads for me is that David has 300 books which are 3 times as many as Jeff's 100 books. And it continues, and half as many as Paula's book. Half as many as Paula. So Paula must have, if David has half as many as Paula, and since David has 300, Paula must have had 600. This is what you will find on my scratch paper if you were to see my work. Let's continue. How many books do 3 of them have together? Oh, this is too simple. How many books do 3 of them have together? 1,000. That's it, 1,000. I'm going to go through the answer choices. Whatever I see D, I'm going to replace it with 300. Until something that gives me 1,000. That's what it is. Let's look at A. A says 5/6 times 300. 5/6 times 300 is not going to give me 1,000 because in order for me to get 1,000, on the top I have to get 6,000 because 6,000 divided by 6 is going to be 1,000. This is not going to be 6,000. This is 1,500. This is nowhere close to 6,000. B says 7/3 D. 7/3 D, that's 7,000. 7,000 divided by 3 is not going to be 1,000. 7,000 divided by 7 would have been 1,000. That's not it. Let's look at C. 10 times 3 times D, which is 300. Ah, there you go. Voila. Now we're talking. Because you see, 3 goes into 300 100 times. And 100 times 10 is going to be 1,000. Voila. That's your answer. That's all. That's it. We're done. If this had been a real exam, I'm done. I would move on with my life. But to convince you that the other 2 do not work, I'm going to continue. Just to convince you. But as far as I'm concerned, the work is done. 7/2 times 300. And again, since there is a 2 at the bottom, I better have 2,000 on the top in order to get 1,000 that I'm looking for. The question was, how many books does 3 of them have together? I plugged in 100 for Jeff, and I was told that David has 3 times as many, so David must have had 300. And then I'm told that David has half as many as Paula does, so Paula must have had 600. So, and the question was, how many books do they have 3 of them together? 600 plus 300, 900 plus 100 is 1,000. That's not going to be 1,000 because in order for me to get 1,000 out of this one, as I said before, I better have 2,000 on the top. 7 times 300 is not 2,000, it's 2,100. That's no good. The fact that it's very close is not good enough. Close but no cigars. I do not know why I say these things because I'm not sure how many of you understand these expressions because I don't know, God only knows where people are watching these clips in the world. 9/2 times 1,000. Again, as you can see, in order for me to get 1,000 out of that, I have to have 2,000 on top. I do not have 2,000, I have 9,000 on the top. Oh, sorry, this is not 100, this is 3. This is 300. I made the same mistake here. Sorry about that. I made the same mistakes here. Hopefully So again, in order for me to get 1,000, I got lucky as a matter of fact, because I crossed it out for the wrong reason. That's why it's important to pay attention to the details, to concentrate, and I wasn't concentrating. So again, in order for me to get 1,000 out of B, I better have 3,000 on the top, because 3,000 divided by 3 is going to give me 1,000. This is not 3,000 on the top, because on the top I only have 700. That's not it. Let's look at E. As I explained before, in order for me to get 1,000 out of this one, on the top I better have 2,000. 300 times 9 is not a 2,000. That's not it. It's 2,700. The answer is C. I hope you found this helpful, because I did this problem without solving the algebra. Let me take a look at the clock there. For those of you who are hell-bent on solving this algebraically, I'll show you the quick algebraic solution, because algebra is not that bad actually in this problem if you understand what's going on. Let me take a quick look. I'm 6 minutes into the clips. So I'm going to show you how to solve this problem algebraically. Let's get rid of this A and B, which are the wrong answers. I'm going to keep C. Let's get rid of this thing and this thing. Algebraically, if you were solving it, you have three people. You have David, you have Jeff, and you have Paula. David has D books. Jeff has 3 times as many, so Jeff has 3 times D. And Paula, well, let's see how does the problem read. Does David have 3 times as many? David has D books, which is 3 times as many as Jeff. Oh, so David, oh no. Let me start again. David has D books, which are 3 times as many as Jeff. So Jeff must have 1/3 of D. Because it says, let me read one more time. It says David has D books, which are 3 times as many as Jeff has, and half as many as Paula, which means Paula must have had 2 times D. That's all it is. And all you have to do is just add them up. That's all it is. That's how much algebra is in this problem. So you can solve this thing in the classical manner, which is what I'm doing right now. But as you can see, I just made an error. That's the problem with the classical approach. Classical approach, you will end up making one of those predictable errors. And as long as you end up making one of those 4 most common mistakes, you're done. Because one right answer and the other 4 are the most common 4 mistakes, if you do it the classical way. If you do the plugging in way, they cannot catch you, because they cannot predict ahead of time what you're going to plug in. So anyway, so continue here. The common denominator is 3, so this becomes 3D, this remains D, and this becomes 6 D's. There you go. 10 D's, 10 over 3 over D, as you can see. So this is the classical solution, and that was the plugging in solution that I told you before. Alright, I hope you found this helpful. Send me an email if you wish to buy the DVDs in which I present to you the solutions to all the problems, or if you wish to hire me for personal private tutoring. I'm located in the state of Connecticut. Send me an email. Go to my website at prep4GMAT.com. Alright? Thanks.